So funny story, I was planning to make this video anyway, but then New York Times bought Wordle. They said it'll initially remain free, whatever that means, so this video might end up being useful for when the paywall comes up. The variants of Wordle out there on the internet fall into a few general categories. The first is things that are basically Wordle just with different words. The first two are Lateral and Sweardle. Lateral only has words that are sex themed and Sweardle only has swears. I'm talking about them together because their appeal is just about the same. A big win for the 14-year-olds in the audience, but that's the extent of it. D tier. Queerdle appears to be Wordle for the gays, but when I tried it, it was pretty normal, so maybe it didn't remove any words and just added a bunch. This one isn't plain stupid, so I'll put it in C tier. This next one is so niche it's actually funny. Wordle restricts you to choral music related terms. I have no musical knowledge at all, but I somehow got this in 4 with sheer luck. What the actual shit is an Agnes? If you're a music person, this is a fun little game, and if you're not, it's like Wordle, but nightmare mode. For the sheer audacity, this is in B tier. For completeness, I have to talk about the true Wordle clones. I want to get to the wacky stuff ASAP, so I'll speedrun it. Okay, let's go. 3, 2, 1. The ripoffs that charged you for money on the App Store are automatically all F tier. Word Guesser is Wordle, but you can do it infinitely and even change the word length, C tier. And Hello Wordle is the above, but it has a dark mode, B tier. At long last, we've made it to the interesting ones, the Wordle variants that meaningfully change the mechanics of Wordle. First up, Lateral. Listen, it gets better, you have to trust me. Obscuredl is Wordle that cheats hard by constantly moving the goalposts. It's barely Wordle really, since there's no singular word you're trying to guess. Let me explain. At the start, the quote-unquote correct word can be any valid word. Every time you make a guess, the list of possible correct words shrinks in a way that minimizes the amount of information you get from your guess. So here, my guess returns this information because the list of words that wouldn't contradict these clues is larger than the list of words that wouldn't contradict any other set of clues. Your goal is to paint Obscuredl into a corner until there is only one word that lines up with all the info you got from your guesses, which becomes the correct word. This process is completely deterministic, the same input will always produce the same result, so the game here isn't to discover an answer, it's to force Obscuredl into an answer in the least tries possible. It's a fun twist on Wordle, so I'm putting it in A tier. Next up is Luckle, which makes you feel good about yourself. I promise that's the last bad one. But speaking of good vibes, I make content in this style fairly often, so subbing to my channel will definitely not make you feel worse, at least. Wink wink, nudge nudge. Anyway, let's take a look at Dordle, which is actually faithful to Wordle, except you're solving 2 Wordles simultaneously with the same guesses. It's a lot harder, you have to be efficient with your guesses to get good clues for both Wordles, and I'm a big fan. Dordle is the gold standard for Wordle twists that actually keep the Wordle mechanics, and for that reason it's S tier. There is one remaining variant I want to discuss, and that's Obscuredl. This one is very un-Wordle-like, but it clearly pays homage, so deal with it. Obscuredl is split into stages. Every stage has a different set of rules for what constitutes a green or yellow letter. You have to figure out those rules and then put in words that form 3 given sets of clues. I'm not gonna lie, this one is my favorite for sure. Even if it's not all that replayable, it's a blast. Personally, this is an S tier for me. We're out of variants, but I'm not quite done with the video. We can't get a true perspective of how good these are without discussing the OG. Let's talk about Wordle. Wordle is simple yet captivating, and it took over the internet in the gentlest way. For a few minutes a day, we feel like we're in the world's largest living room, chilling on the world's largest comfy couch, doing a little puzzle with the whole internet. It's innocent and plain in a way most websites aren't anymore. Well, not for much longer, but it was fun while it lasted. I'm gonna put Wordle right up here. Its fate is uncertain, but for as long as the corporate overlords allow us to, I'm gonna keep enjoying it freely with everyone. If you know of any Wordle variants not discussed in the video, leave it in the comments. Anyway, if you want to see my chess review, click the top video. Bye.